This will be a fun video. I think it's safe to say that Andrew Yang is an empath. It just makes sense. He was grieving openly, publicly, and that showed a lot of character and a lot of heart, where a lot of politicians wouldn't go. I guarantee you, no one would really go there. I mean, Obama did like a little bit after Sandy Hook, but I think most politicians would have shown a degree of empathy, as they should, and I think that's good and that's normal. But I also think a lot of politicians would stop themselves from going to where Andrew Yang went, and you can almost tell like he couldn't even hold it back. He really, like, as soon as that woman stood up, like, you can just tell his demeanor changed. He's like, he knew who it was. He knew that it was her time to talk, and he was bracing for it the whole time. Like, you can just tell, it just shook him. And, that shows Andrew Yang is empathic. And one other thing I wanted to bring up here was, back in his high school days, he was a goth kid. And, if you know goth kids, they're pretty depressed people. But they're also pretty empathic. They listen to a lot of sad music because they identify with, emotions. They identify with sadness. They identify with longing. They identify with grieving. So that adds up. That makes sense. And also, my first impression of Andrew Yang, back November of 2017, when he announced his candidacy. I believe he was one of the first 2020 presidential candidates to announce his or her campaign. I believe, who was it? It might have been, Andrew Yang might have been the first, or Richard Ojeda might have been the first. I actually think Richard Ojeda was the first. But anyways, November 2017, I saw Andrew Yang give his TYT interview. He introduced himself to the world, basically, there. And right away, I'm like, whoa, who is this guy? This guy is coming at me with realness, with honesty, from a place of compassion and empathy and knowledge, wisdom, details, data, math. The list is endless. And I knew from early on that this guy was empathic. And I think there's no doubt. And there's a lot of gaslighters out there. But see, here's the thing. The people who are gaslighting and saying Andrew Yang fake the tears, that he's an actor, these people all scream fake news when they don't like something. So it's so easy to discredit them. And they don't see that because, they just can't see what they're putting out here. But the people who are saying Andrew Yang had fake tears are the people who decry fake news on a regular basis. So that just means you don't like it, you're triggered, and you're trying to smear him. And it's so easy to read. And these people are pathetic. So there's no doubt in my mind that Andrew Yang is an empath. I think it's pretty clear. There's a lot of data to support it. There's a lot of history to go over that points to it. And that's awesome. You want empathy. I'm an empathic person. I don't know if I would say I'm an empath. That's a critique for other people. If someone, I'd have to hear from outside. If I said it, that would be kind of pretentious. That would be kind of cringy. It's usually, a judgment you save for other people. But I know that from my work in mental health, I know I have empathy. You have to, if you're working in mental health, you have to have empathy. And working one-on-one with people with mental health problems and getting them in recovery and stuff like that, I know I got that in me. So I'm aware of that. But still, that's a critique outside of myself as well that has to be made. But, so, as an empathic person, myself, I can see an empathic person in Andrew Yang. And that it's just great in our politics that is so phony, that is so wretched, with empty suits and platitudes and cliches and, people with foul intent. To have somebody with unfiltered empathy. It's just a great thing. And, no matter how Andrew Yang does this political cycle, we're going to roll with it. But, he's around for the long term. No matter what happens, he's going to be around for a while, and I'm excited about that. And I'm excited that you are excited about Andrew Yang, that there's a bunch of people who wouldn't usually be, into politics, are in politics or back in politics because of people like Andrew Yang. So that's just awesome. But anyways, what do you think? Do you think Andrew Yang is 100% empath? I believe he is. I believe he's proved that. I believe his history shows that. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, leave a donation, leave a tip. I will talk to you down in the comments.